So I've got a question here from Suprith, and the question goes like this. Please discuss sex or masturbation on the spiritual path. Does it affect spiritual growth? Because some spiritual teachers say we should not waste sexual energy, and some say you can. I don't know which to follow. Please clarify this. And they say without wasting sex energy, we can do many things like Kundalini awakening, mind reading, memory, and other things. So let's talk about that. So sex or masturbation, does it affect spiritual growth? So yes, it will affect your spiritual growth. And like anything, in moderation. So basically your sexual energy is that Kundalini energy. And when that sexual energy is only being expressed in that way through sex and masturbation, then that's just that Shakti energy. That's just how it's being expressed. Mainly it's being expressed as a function of the second chakra. So the second energy center, that's how it expresses itself through sex and masturbation. And if that's all you're into, you could say, then that's just how it's expressed. But if it finds its expression through the third chakra or the fourth chakra or the fifth chakra or sixth and so on, then you'll see that it's the same creative potential that then is expressed in a different way or form at the different energy centers, because that is that Kundalini energy, right? That is that Kundalini energy. So when sex or masturbation becomes an obsession, when it becomes a perversion, then it's like that energy is only expressing itself at that second energy center, right? So you could say that, yes, it does affect your spiritual growth, your spiritual development. It does affect the progress on the spiritual path, because it can very much limit your spiritual evolution and development if that's the only way that Shakti energy is really expressing itself. But it can find a different expression. It can find a different expression at the third energy center. It can find that expression, let's say, in your personal power and your discipline. Perhaps it's some sort of martial arts. Perhaps it's some sort of hobby or skill that you want to develop, right? It could benefit you from building a business. It can benefit you from really in like the heart energy center, right? It's that heart energy center that then you're going to feel that connection with others. It's going to connect with your heart. You're going to feel that oneness at the throat energy center. That it's going to help with expression, speaking, singing, a lot of the creativity, right? So you could see it's kind of like if all you know is sex and masturbation, then it's just being expressed that way. But if you have higher aspirations, if you want to express your passion, if you want to share your passion with others, you want to share your passion with the world, then you could perhaps build a business. If you want to express your creative potential through the arts, through the creative arts, perhaps it's dance, singing, artwork, right? It doesn't matter, but that's the way that same energy can find expression in a different way, right? So, like I said, like anything, it's that middle way. It's that middle way. Now, with myself, I didn't practice celibacy or anything like that, right? So, and there's many others who haven't. So I wouldn't say that it's necessary for enlightenment. It definitely was not necessary here, right? Because what you'll find is anything that you really suppress, anything that you're repressing. So if you're really suppressing that sexual energy, then it's going to find a different expression. It's going to feel like it's going to come out in a different way, in more of a negative way. So anything that you really suppress is going to feel unnatural, right? And this journey is all about coming back to our true nature. As we progress on our spiritual journey, we are finding that we are feeling more and more natural. So when you have that sexual energy rise within yourself and you feel like you have to suppress it and you have to hold it back, and it's, like I said, it's not natural. You'll find that it'll just come out a different way in whatever that is. If it doesn't find expression in the waking state, it's going to find expression in your dream state, right? So that's more talking about the obsessive, compulsive nature of sex and masturbation. Likewise, is if that energy is still, you could say, locked or just expressing itself at the root chakra, then again, it's just, there's almost so much fight or flight being expressed that at that stage, it's like you're not even thinking about reproduction because you're in so much fear. Food, water, shelter, right? Food, water, shelter needs to be fundamental first. That needs to be first before then you even think about reproduction, right? So it just shows that same energy is just expressing itself more in the root chakra, right? The first energy center, before it can be expressed in the second energy center, right? So it could be, like I said, if there is no sexual drive, it could be that energy is not reaching that second energy center. It's not being expressed that way, right? So it's like anything. It could be an over expression. It can be an under expression. It's finding that balance. And you'll find that when, that kind of tendency kind of comes up, or that urge comes up, or whatever it is, that sexual energy arises, then again, if you don't have any higher aspirations, if you don't have any sort of creative hobbies or different forms of expression, or you're not really expressing yourself through different outlets, then it's going to feel like all you have to express that energy is sex and masturbation. So looking at it that way, if you find that it's very compulsive, if you find like it is an addiction, that you're addicted to porn, or you're addicted to sex, or you're trying to just hook up with anybody and everybody, then then it might be some time to just reflect and look at where you're not able to express in different formats. Typically, again, a lot of people don't express themselves because of, again, too much fear. They don't want to start a business because of fear. They don't want to be creative in different outlets because they're not open-minded enough. They're not open. You have to be open in order to express yourself, right? So just being open-minded, being curious about, let me try some yoga. Let me try some dance. Let me try some Tai Chi. Let me try some singing. Let me try some drawing, painting, sculpting, whatever it is. Any of these things, cooking, any of these things are really creative outlets. So you'll find that if you are very compulsive when it comes to sex and masturbation, look at your life and look how that creativity is missing. Look how that creativity is not being expressed through different activities, different areas of life. Because when all those chakras are balanced, when all the energy systems are balanced, you'll find that every area of your life is really a creative expression. You'll naturally just want to cook and make cooking art. You'll naturally want to draw or sing, or anything that you really touch. It's seen as like art. It's seen as an expression. It's seen as an opportunity to express yourself. It's seen as something that allows you to just touch it with your unique expression, to infuse your unique expression into whatever you are doing, right? So you'll find that if you're very compulsive when it comes to sex and masturbation, that other creative potential is just, it's not there, right? It's not there. So you can reflect, and you can then try and be more open and try and maybe get into some of those different pathways to express that same creative energy, that same creative potential, right? And there's different techniques for helping that creative energy rise within yourself, right? And different pranayama techniques, breathing techniques to help that energy rise. Yoga, postures, asanas, they'll help bring that energy up and really unblock some of the energy center where it could be locked at, where it could be blocked, right? To help unblock that and help that energy rise up. And that's really that Kundalini energy rising, right? So that's what I would look at. I would look at, one, if you're being truly honest with yourself, if it is an addiction, then yes, then I would look to start some of these pranayama techniques, some of the yoga asanas to help with that. I would look at getting involved in other creative expressions, and you'll find that will help balance it. Naturally, you'll just find that if you're building a business, or you're playing an instrument, or you're skateboarding, or martial arts, or dancing, or something like that, you'll find that energy won't, you'll find that the compulsive nature of that energy you won't feel like it's such an urge that just wants to be expressed through sex and masturbation, because that energy is going to be pulled up and being expressed at those higher energy centers, because ultimately that energy needs to come up to the highest energy center for the divine connection, right? So as it's working its way up, that's really what it wants, because ultimately that energy just wants union with everything. Because essentially that's when you're addicted to sex and masturbation, it's this urge to want to reproduce, to want to be more. But you'll find that this energy will not be satisfied until you realize that you are everything.